Yes, yeah, I filled in for somebody. We had to swap on out because I think I was supposed to be here next week, but I'm going to be at one of the shows. So you got me tonight. Yay. Let me just do our due diligence here and make sure that it is coming up on our Facebook group here. I don't see it yet, but I'll catch it again in just a minute. Yes, it says I am live. There we are. Pardon me, just doing a little bit of homework here, making sure that we can get it onto the group, posting on there. And we'll see, it should be on everybody else's. How is everybody? Fine, I hope. I haven't had an opportunity to come on since our Pasadena show, Groom Expo West, which was really good. I think the show suffered a little bit because of the date change. Uh, Everybody kind of agreed because it went from February, which is usually, you're working. It's the middle of winter. It's not really that, that super busy like summertime. You don't have your family vacations out to the river like summertime. So I think it got affected in a few ways, but we really did well. California Groomers, we did well. We had our meeting on Friday night, very nicely attended. We appreciate the sponsorships. The auction was a hoot, and we had a lot of really good helpers from our board of directors at the table there. Let's start off too. This is, after all, Winedown. And what's in my glass this evening? Okay, I have my favorite wine glass here in Dog Wines. I've only had one. And this is a white blend that's made by hey, Valerie, how are you? Valerie McFadden, one of our board members here. A treasure, as a matter of fact. But Sueno is from Oak Mountain. It's a Temecula wine right there, Oak Mountain down there. I like Oak Mountain. Their wines are okay. They have a really great lunch and a great place. But this is actually a blend between Vermentino, Sauvignon Blanc, and Muscat Canelli. It's got a little bit of a sweet finish, mostly because of that Muscat Canelli. Don't forget, this is an educational channel, right? But so many people go, oh, I like white wine, white or red. What are you drinking? Chardonnay. I mean, it gets old and boring. Go for some different stuff, and not just the Sauvignon Blancs or the Pinot Grigios. They're easy to fall into that trap. Go for some different stuff. This is a blend, and Vermentino is one single varietal that I do happen to like. But it's fruity. It's refreshing. That's what I like about it. I drink whites in the summertime. Unless, of course, I got a rack of ribs or a steak on the grill, okay? But drink what you like what you drink. Okay, back to business here. Once again, I really appreciated everybody stopping by the booth, taking chances, and all those poodle statues from Val Weller went to very good homes. In fact, I found a picture of Val. This has got to be 45 years ago, easily. So please, the style is the style. But this was when, and Valerie, you're going to love this. This was when creative was really more of a dog decorating party, okay? But Val was one of the forefronts. We didn't have the wonderful colors and dyes that we do now. So don't laugh, but there's Val, good old Val. You might recognize her face. She owned a salon on Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. Her daughter runs it now. But it was more dog decorating at that time, too. And of course, banded patterns were all the rage. And look at the way Continentals and just our dog show, Continentals and English Saddles have changed over the years. Nobody was going to make fun of Annie Rogers Clark make it if grooming her dog, right? But we thank Val. God bless her. She passed away last fall, and she wanted me to have these. And yeah, and you didn't see the picture, Valerie? Here it is. There you go. Valerie Weller, looking at Valerie McFadden. But she wanted us to take these because she didn't want them ending up in Goodwill. So I said, we're going to raffle them off and let everybody have some. And it was really great. And I know that Donna Owens, who knew Val, she wanted to take pictures. She wanted to take chances on these things. And she put them in. And when we called her, she got the one. And it was the pink one that she really wanted. I'm getting goosebumps because she just absolutely knees buckled in tears. And it meant so much to her. So these are the forefront people in the industry. I mean, Val, all they used was chalk and food coloring. And yeah, it's really come so incredibly far. But yeah, thank everybody at Groom Expo. I'm glad to have seen everyone, glad to have participated in that show. It's absolutely terrific. Okay, let me talk about the elephant in the room right now. I got to have a sip of wine first. And that is our Spaminator. If you remember, you got an email from a company in the UK wanting to sell you lists in the grooming industry. BS. Okay, it's nothing but spam. The woman who down below, she had says she's in North Carolina. I wrote to her and said, "Hi, I'd like to talk to you." So we'll see what happens there. I don't think anything, but people were wondering why they got these emails, and it was just the membership. Active members got these emails. If you didn't get one, you're either lapsed or you're not a member, or you're in another state or country for that matter. And one of the perks of membership with the CPPGA is that you are listed on our Find a Groomer tab on the website. Somebody in LA wants a groomer. They look there, see who's in their zip code, or somebody up in the Bay Area. They can look and they can find people that are members of the CPPGA and find a groomer. They can contact them directly from that site because you are running a business. Your business phone number is published and your email is also published. But there is also another way to reach people, and that is you say, I want to reach Teri DiMarino, and you have our membership management program. We use a web-based membership management program called Wild Apricot. You may notice it when you do www.cppga, it comes up .wildapricot.org. And they take care of all of our money in and out, our payments, our sponsorships, our newsletters, our website, everything is one-stop shop with that. So it works. But you can have them contact you through the website. And that's why everybody thought it came from CPPGA. It did not. It came from this person who was spamming everyone. How can we stop this? We had it happen once before several years ago. There was somebody from Japan or Korea that spammed everybody for scissors. Honestly, I don't think we can. Our database did not get hacked. Our website and our finances, nothing got hacked. We were not hacked. The only thing that was put out there was letters to the membership. And let's face it, if you've got a website and you've got an email on that website, you're just as susceptible to it. I mean, we've had people take, and I think on our website, we've taken off the personal emails of the board of directors because a couple of people got an email supposedly from me, the president, and it said, gee, can you please send, I can't get to the bank. Can you please send a check to me or just deposit and Zelle some money right on in? My treasurer knows me and says, that's not Teri's MO. We know that. We don't do that kind of stuff. And it came from me. So there are people out there cloning your identities, cloning your emails, cloning your websites, and that's basically what this was. We apologize for any confusion or inconvenience trying to get a hold of Wild Apricot to see how we can do it. But you know something? It's a really, really time-consuming thing because there's like 200 names on there. Okay, so she had to go to each and every one. So she probably had some 12-year-old doing that for her. But once again, we apologize for any confusion or any inconvenience. We have dealt with it the best we can. And if it happens again, you just say spam or reach out to us. I mean, we got to know what's happening. But this person was doing this at like 2:30 in the morning. Okay, I got better things to do like sleep. That's out of the way. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the legislation. We're going to get into a few things in a minute. We'll talk about the Cali Groom Show shortly. But legislation, there's really, thank goodness, nothing going on in the state of California. With the World Alliance of Grooming Associations, WAGA, we are very closely knit with them because we are supporters of them. And their whole goal, the whole goal of this organization, I happen to be treasurer of it, Judy Breton, whose former board member is the president of that. We have some big sponsors. WPA is a sponsor. California Groomers is a sponsor, AKC is a sponsor, and we're still seeking other sponsors, but we're going to have a booth out at the Las Vegas show. Now, what the World Alliance wants to do is unite everybody under the professional grooming. Because what happens in one state can happen in another. What happens in one country can grow like cancer into another. I'll get into one in a minute. But like I think there's one that they're working on in Colorado now, that they want groomers to be responsible of making sure that all pets that they serve are fully up on their vaccinations and microchips. Think about that for a minute. Does your hairdresser ask you if you've had your flu shot? Do you get refused service from a barber because you maybe didn't have the latest flu vaccine, COVID vaccine? I mean, did run across that with COVID. You can't come in here unless you're vaccinated, and everybody's got an opinion on that. All right. And it's okay. It's okay. But they want to make groomers legally responsible for keeping people up on their shots. Now, yes, there's a legal one, rabies. That's it. But they don't even want to count titers. I don't vaccinate my dogs. I titer once a year. It's expensive. Titering is expensive. It's about $150 a dog for just the parvo and the distemper and like that. It's not cheap. But my 11-year-old white standard poodle, she hasn't had vaccinations in 7 years, and she tests positive all the way across. And I'm not going to get into the whole thing of vaccinate or not vaccinate. But why is a service industry going to be held responsible for making sure that the owners do their own due diligence? Isn't that the vet's job? So these are little things that we keep our finger on the pulse of this. Because if that goes through, we can help Colorado by giving them talking points, putting them in touch with the right people, telling them what to say. Because you can all stand there and scream, don't do that, don't do that. You got to have reasons behind that, all right? Now, that brings me to the next thing that we're going to be participating in. California Professional Pet Groomers Association is sending myself and our Vice President, Christine Pearson, to Washington, D.C. for a one-day. They call it the Pets on the Hill. And it is a Pets on the Hill fly-in. And you fly in, you're in Washington for one day, September 16th. And we're going with WAGA, World Alliance of Grooming Association. So there will be Christine, myself, and Judy Breton flying on in. Judy has been to these before. And it's very, very good for the industry because she comes back with tons of information. What they do is they get our home addresses because the only representatives like senators and assemblymen that will talk to you will be your own. Think about that when it comes to legislation. You really, really want to know who you voted for and who you put in office and who your tax dollars go to, okay? Because I can call, I'm in Riverside County. I'm in Beaumont. I'm in Riverside County, about 35 miles west of Palm Springs, okay? I can call the representative for LA and say, hey, you're supporting a bill that's not good. He'll say, who are you? Don't talk to me. Give me my constituents. All right. And that's how we really started this was we sat on the phone. I mean, we're talking 15 years ago and called people from Yelp and just, you're in this district. You have to talk to this guy. But my representatives will talk to me. Christine's will have meetings with hers and Judy will have meetings with hers. Hey, Carla, how are you? Thanks for joining us. And there will be a lot of people at these things, and we're not going to be able to address specifically grooming, but we are there to make a presence. We're there to be heard. We're there to hand people who are, now we're not actually, a lot of times you're just not meeting with the representative himself. You're meeting with their lackeys. You're meeting with their people. And I tell you, these people are just as good. They really are. They cut to the chase. They pare things down and tell their boss what they need to hear. We want to hand these out. PPGSA stands care, safety, and sanitation. This is the one that we hand out at the California booth. We do have them in Spanish. We don't have the printed version in Spanish. Getting ready to do a rewrite on it. We're actually having a meeting at WPA next week to see if we need any changes. We met 5 years ago and said, dang, it still looks good. And if you don't know what these are, the standards of care, safety, and sanitation, this is a blueprint for a safe, clean salon. We don't care how you trim top knots, tails, or eyebrows. Are you running a clean, safe salon? This is the basis of any legislation. So we want to look at these people in the eye, hand them our business cards, and say, hi, we want to give you this. If anything grooming comes across your desk, we want to be the very first ones you call. We want to make the contact. We have to do that. We have to let them know we exist, because if they don't, they're going to do legislation all by themselves. And that's usually what happens. Now, WAGA, let me tell you something that we did discover with WAGA, which is, once again, the acronym World Alliance of Grooming Associations. You can go to, the website is waga.wildapricot.org. Okay. And you can see all of the states. I think we've got about 17 or 18 states that have associations. If you're a state that's looking to start an association, guess what we have on that website? We have a how-to list, how to form an association, step by step by step. I've spent countless hours on the phone with people that have wanted to start associations. This is everything written on down. But you will also go and see the member associations. You can't join WAGA as an individual, but you can join our, it's our constant contact. Okay. So probably tomorrow, later on after this, I will publish the constant contact link so that you can go in there and keep up on some of the mailings that we're going to be doing. We are having a meet and greet out in the Vegas show, and that's going to be on Friday in the Groomers Lounge at 10 a.m. Okay, 10 a.m. Vegas. If you're going to be there or be square or a trapezoid or something like that. But definitely meet us there, 10 o'clock Friday. Jackpot will just be starting. I'm judging Jackpot, so I'm going to be going back and forth a little bit. But definitely meet the people behind the Alliance and see what we're doing. We just got Australia in, PIAA, Pet Industry Associations of Australia, okay? And Joe Marsden is the go-to with that. I've known Joe for years. I really have. Joe's a great person. She's a real go-getter, and she is hot on the trail of this. What they want to do, they have a pet bill coming through that smells very, very familiar of an anti-breeding bill. Okay, so they're going with that. They're looking at that. They're going after that. But they have an exceedingly strong animal rights advocate group over there. Very, very strong. Their pet grooming and animal pets, all pets, are under the care of their agricultural committees, which is basically the same thing here in the state. It's under agriculture, okay? They want to form specifically a pet committee to take care of pets. And the people that are behind it are animal rights activists. Animal welfare is taken care of by agriculture, but the animal rights people want to go in and have their own committee to rule over everything with animals. Let me explain a couple of the things that they're looking to do and how they would harm you as a groomer. How they would harm you as a pet owner. One of the things that they're going for is, and they use a little bit different terminology, they are going for the guardianship. Okay, everybody said, oh, I'm not the pet's owner, I'm his guardian. Sounds warm and fuzzy, doesn't it? You just gave up all the rights to your dog. You get a neighbor that doesn't like the way you keep your dog outside too long, or you're not feeding him, or you do something she doesn't like done, she can turn you into the equivalent of the Child Protection Services. Okay? If you are a groomer and you have an accident with the dog, they can sue for punitive damages. All right? So you basically just gave up a lot of rights to your dogs. Yeah, that's nice to say, oh, I'm my dog's guardian. That's great. But you don't have any rights then. All right, they've just been taken away. Another thing that they are going for, let me think about this one now. Okay, and this I think comes from certain training methods, and fear-free to be exact, and fear-free does have its place. There are some dogs that just need a lot of time to be worked with. And hopefully the owners are there working with them as well, because this is an expensive thing, because this is very time intensive. They are working, the dog has to be able to consent to everything. The dog must consent to having his nails trimmed. The dog must consent to having a bath and be dried and having his ear. He must consent. And this has become such a public thing over there that it's starting to hit the grooming salons, where these groomers, the customers are saying, I want to stay with my dog and make sure that you wait for him to consent to do anything every step of the way. And as Joe just said this afternoon, that takes, an hour and a half to 2 hour groom, $100 groom, right up to an all day episode of an $800 groom. If you're going $100 an hour, because if you've got to wait for this dog to give you his foot, where are these owners going to go? They're not thinking. They're not thinking. So please, 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 before any of these things ever, anybody wants to darken your door with some kind of a animal legislation or ideas, think about first. There's stuff in the background. CPPGA, we are exceedingly pro animal welfare, responsible pet ownership, and pro animal welfare. That is us as the stewards for these pets that we own. Okay, they are our responsibility. They are here because of us. And we want to continue. I want my kids and my grandkids to continue to be able to have pets. Animal activists don't want that. You shouldn't have to have pets. You're holding them captive under their duress. They don't want to be held captive. I open up my front door. My dogs are like, yeah, what are you going to do? It's cold. It's hot out there. I mean, it's 103 degrees out there this afternoon. I'm not going out there. I'm staying in here. So I guess they gave me consent to keep them in the house. But really shouldn't laugh. But these are just the things that are going on. So what we're going to do, that she's supposed to get me a little essay on the exact to kind of encapsulate everything, and that will be published on the WAGA website. All right. Oh yeah, just never a dull moment. Teri, what do you do in your spare time? But we've got, I'll show you. We've got New Zealand. We've got Belgium. We've got a bunch of states. There's a number of them that are in the works, which we're happy to hold your hand and take you right through everything, from getting your team together to getting your incorporation and what you do after that. And we have to do this. Let's keep this in mind too. Some people may say, okay, I'm here. I'm going to fight legislation. Okay, that shouldn't be your primary focus. Your primary focus should be to benefit the grooming salon community, the pets we serve, and their owners. That's it. That's it. People say, well, we need legislation written by groomers for groomers. No, we need legislation written by groomers for the pets we serve. Think about that and keep that in the back of your mind. We'll be talking about it definitely more. I think I've got the wind down the week after I come home. Let me just check. Yeah, no. I will. Yeah, I'll be home. I'll be home from that. I do two in a row in September. We had to shuffle around everything a little bit, but I do 2 in a row in September, and one of them will be the afternoon that I get back from Washington, D.C. So we'll definitely have some news on that. I'm looking forward to that. Christine's looking forward to it. So is Judy. All right, let's skip on to a couple of things, activities that we've got now. Cali Groom South is coming up on October 12th. We're looking forward to that down at the Wax Warehouse, the City of Industry. Tammy Colbert is our judge. Tammy, I've known Tammy for years and years and years, and she's an old-time creative person as well. I mean, first time I ever saw a hat sculpted in to a top knot was Tammy. She did her dog Walker. I remember he was a great dog. He was a terrific dog. She did Walker, and I think it was a train, like a conductor hat. It was really very cool. Very creative, very cool. It's going to be at the Wags Warehouse down in the City of Industry. Where is City of Industry? Think the 605 and the 10. It's right there. 605 and the 10. Great restaurants. We have the rules are published on cppga.org. You can go to the top, Cali Groom, click on it. Rules are there. And I believe at the bottom of the rules is or go to the website. The website is live. The event is live. So that gives you information. The registration is not live. Registration opens up at 8 a.m. this Sunday, the 10th. That is the 10th? Yes, it is. 8 a.m. Sunday, the 10th. We will open up that registration for the competition. But you can go in there now. You can take a look at the whole listing in there. At the bottom of that information page are dog-friendly hotels. Okay, there are some non-dog friendly hotels locally, a little bit closer, but these are all within, I think there's 3 of them listed. I checked them the other day. They are all pet friendly. They're all within 15 minutes of the location, and it's easy. And once again, it's going to be a Sunday. So, I mean, traffic is going to be light for the most part. At least we hope, Southern California. But Tammy Colbert, a breeder and exhibitor of Bedlington Terriers. She had a Chesky, and that's where I learned how to groom a Chesky. Woohoo! That's a very different haircut too. Foxy Roxy is once again our sponsor of our Best in Show and Best First Timer. She's come up. Jill has come up with sponsorship. She is a very, very, very big supporter, especially of the new people in the industry. Intergroom is the sponsor of our poodle class. Freestyle is being sponsored by Groom Loop, who is also one of our annual sponsors. And all of the purebred is being sponsored by SAS Sharpening. We want to thank all our sponsors. And our sponsor of the month this month is Hello Groom, and they've got a member-only special going. If you are a member, you received the email. That's, oh my, we packed a lot in 25 minutes, didn't we? That's pretty much it. Once again, I'm just going to have another sip of wine here. The wine du jour is a Sueno, which is a blend. See, reds aren't the only thing that can get blends. All right. This actually is tasting a little nicer. It's very, very crisp at the start, but it's tasting nicer now that it's open a little bit. And this is Vermentino, which is another nice white varietal. Sauvignon Blanc. You know, Sauvignon Blanc is a very crisp, minerally tasting, citrusy tasting. And then Muscat Canelli, which I normally don't like sweet wines. Okay, Muscat Canelli is a sweeter one. It has a nice back flavor to that wine, and it's probably about a $20 bottle of wine. Nicely chilled, very refreshing, terrific for summertime. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Hi, Lisa. I didn't see that you were there. Lisa Van Sweden. Yay. How are you? For those who don't know, Lisa Van Sweden was the artist of that did all the illustrations for Notes from the Grooming Table, and she also did our logo. Oh gosh, I don't have my logo up here. Yeah, the CPPGA logo was done by Lisa Van Sweden. She got herself a lifetime membership for that. So, but yeah, I'm not sure who's doing Winedown next week, but I'm sure they'll do a good job. We're rotating it through the board so that everybody, I'm not boring you. And tell your friends about it. Tune on in. Yeah, miss you, honey. I really do. She's great. Well, you're going to be in Chicago? Because after Vegas next week, Vegas is the 13th to the 15th, and then from the 21st to the 24th, you got the All-American in Chicago. So if you're in Chicago, Lisa, please find me and give me a big old hug, okay? I need that, all right? Okay, everyone, I want you to it's only 7:30 here. Sit down, have another glass of wine, relax, and we'll all be talking to you soon. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Just remember, tune in, leave your comments. You're not going in this year? Then I'll have to see you next year. Okay. And leave your comments. Send us what you might want to hear on a wind down. Okay. info@cppga.org. Pop us an email. We always want to entertain some kind of different topics. And we've got a variety. All the board members, we're all stepping on up. Like, I think Cindy Chimini, she's our membership chair. And she did about a 10, 15-minute thing on membership. And she's like, I don't want to do this. I don't do it really good. She did great. Very comprehensive. Drive everything, how to drive around the website. And because the website's got a lot to offer. Okay, everybody, thank you very, very much. I'm going to sign on out there, and I would stay safe. If you're out in California or any of these places, stay cool. I'm leaving my house locked up again tonight because the air quality is terrible. And hopefully I'll be seeing you in Vegas. If you're there, look me up. Catch you.